What's up guys, welcome back. This is the Holy Grail. It is the cheapest and best equipped Rovan Baja you could possibly get. I paid less than $400 for this from Banggood. It is right here on my table. It is undamaged. And you can also get yourself one in the next couple days for a fantastic deal. Probably the cheapest I have ever seen it if you use the discount code and link in the description to this video. I know for a fact that this thing is gonna be incredible. Why? Because I'm not even wearing a white shirt. Now, normally for my unboxings, I do wear a white shirt, but right now, I'm wearing this cool hipster skateboard style shirt. I actually used to wear this when I was like a teenager. Go figure, right? I guess I didn't get fat from eating all that McDonald's over the years. So, myth busted, fast food is not bad for you, I think. This particular one was shipped from California. As I look at the shipping label, pretty interesting. It came from Rancho Cucamonga. If you're a fan of American media, you would know that one of the best and most popular movies is the movie Next Friday from the year 2000, featuring Ice Cube and his cousin Day Day. Basically, this came from the same town that the movie was shot in, Rancho Cucamonga. When Day Day's dad won the lottery, he moved his family to Rancho Cucamonga. That is where this bad boy's from. Honestly, that is kind of cool. I am a little bit honored to even have this. This is like a mild version of an RC Celebrity right over here on my table. So many people have negative things to say about Rovan that haven't even bought one. Guys, I've been driving Rovans. They were my first fit scale RC. I love them. There's absolutely almost zero difference between this and an HPI other than a price factor of about triple. Right now, I will unbox it and forever prove that consumer expectations can be wrong. The features and value of this Rovan will literally slap the wrong ideas out of you that I know you guys have had. Just like Rich Piana slapped this guy right over here. I'm pretty sure he knows that Rovan is top notch now.
Okay, not gonna press charges? No. Ready? 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 Are we good? Are we all good now?
Alright, enough joking around. Let's open this up and get slapping. Okay, first thing I see, the box is well sealed. The seal is not broken. I think the water just broke. Oh, the box is about to drop. The Holy Grail, guys, the Holy Grail. Check this out. The packaging is beautiful. It is extremely well packaged, protected. I see absolutely no damage as I look inside here at all. The box is actually pretty nice. There's a good amount of support for protection. Here is our instruction manual. Let's open this up right now, see what's inside. But as to be expected, this is probably the charger for the included onboard battery. Yes, it is. Fantastic. There we go. We have a regular Tamiya style charger, but you could use basically any charger to get this thing going. We have our included Rovan fuel can. This is a 25-to-1 can. Really useful, especially if you're starting out in this hobby and you don't have anything else to get your fuel ratios correct. Here is the tool set. This is the 24mm wheel wrench, standard type of wheel hubs on these, just like any other fit scale RC. Our spark plug removal tool and some other tools, mainly the Allen keys and some other parts. The instruction manual, typical Baja style thing. All the Rovans have this. Very useful. Make sure you read this. We have our wing right over here. This goes on the back of the buggy with a couple body clips and some stickers. Here is the radio. This is a 2-channel radio. I've actually used this one before. I never had any kind of issues with it. It runs pretty good. The signal is very consistent and it runs on just 4 AA batteries. Pretty nice. Okay guys, I'm at the most interesting part for me, removing it from the box. Now keep in mind, this actually is the same exact RC that Kevin Talbot reviewed on his channel, and he sent it pretty good. Now since I am the RC gentleman, this is the unboxing and more or less the overview of this RC. I am not going to be sending it anywhere in this video. If you want to watch this thing, do some cool stunts and runs and how durable it is, check out Kevin Talbot's video. And in fact, there's probably a whole many other YouTubers that have reviewed this RC RC. For me, I respect these things. We're gonna go over it like it's a piece of gold, and we're gonna really determine whether this is the holy grail of RC. If not, I'm gonna slap it. We're gonna slap it like this, like Rich Piana did to Lord Vader. Oh yeah, man, this thing feels nice. I really like it already. I haven't even sent it anywhere. So move the plastic. Man, look at that. This thing is beautiful. Honestly, the wheels are nicer than I expected. The pipe, this is a DDM style clone pipe. Really nice. Honestly, my favorite because it's protected from any sort of impacts. You have an aluminum rear shock brace, which is common on these Rovans in general. Other than that, this is the 29cc with the best looking tires I've probably ever seen. Let's get this thing on the table and give it a good once-over demonstration. And now it's time to do some Rovan pull-ups. I always inaugurate my fit scales like this. I'm gonna do this in portrait mode only because, guys, I don't want you to say I'm using my feet to push off the ground. This is for one of my viewers, Woof is Arfkai. Here we go. Not the most comfortable. Here we go. I'm gonna hold my knees up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see that? One more. 8. Yeah. Here we go, guys. It's on the table, ready to get fully examined. Let's start with the tires. These are what they call second generation Wasteland tires. Now, just for comparison, check out the regular Rovan wheel. These are the regular pin style tires. Notice how much larger these are. So this tread is gonna last a good while. It's also gonna be much better in the sand or dirt or especially grass. So something to look forward to, pretty nice. The first thing I really noticed about this was the suspension. Check out the dampening on the rear shocks. It's actually really good. For a Baja, this is probably as good as I've seen them, you know, in stock new form right out of the box. Really nice. I mean, not bad at all. The front is also fairly well dampened. Not bad. Altogether, the body is really nicely painted. I actually like this color scheme. My other Rovan is a all black one, so this is a little more colorful. I do like it. These are the same standard beadlock style wheels. Yes, pretty much any fit scale wheel for a Baja will work on this, which is really good. Once again, let's go back to this Dominator pipe here in the back. This is a $150 pipe. Now, of course, not this exact one, but this is a clone of the actual DDM Dominator V1 pipe. So you pretty much get a $100-something pipe in probably the cheapest Rovan I have seen. I really like the filter on these Bajas in general. Now, yes, this is basically the same filter on every single Baja, but it is really effective. It is easy to service. It is easy to clean. I really like the light filter on the outside because you can literally see if it's dirty. Now, a lot of these cars come with a dark filter cover here on the outside, and honestly, you can't tell when it's dirty or not. You pretty much have to do your maintenance when you basically feel like it. In this case, pretty good to see it and also good to know. And this thing actually has an 8K RPM clutch, which is really nice because usually only the 30cc and up models have the higher RPM clutch, but good to see the 8K clutch. It has the red clutch spring. Let's take a look at the clutch carrier over here. Unlike the original HPI Baja, this one already has a metal one, so this is a main upgrade. There's a lot of torque and power and heat that really comes through the clutch over here. When the clutch grabs the clutch bell right over here, you can see I'm spinning it right now, there's a lot of heat transfer, and the original plastic carrier used to constantly melt. The drivetrain is actually fairly good in these Bajas for the amount of power that they put out. What about the engine? This is a 29cc model, so basically a 30. Honestly, I have had no issues with these 30cc engines in the Rovans. This is probably going to be identical. I'm not really worried about the 1cc in displacement. What really matters is the fact that it's a 4-bolt design, and that pretty much any of these motors are standard upgrades. You could always get pretty much any motor that you want to drop in here. This thing is going to be ridiculous. Now, for me, what matters is RPM. Generally, the smaller displacement your motor, the slightly higher your RPM will be. Now, I already know the RPM on my Rovan 30cc, and it's going to be interesting to see what this in fact will do. It's possible that this will actually be faster with the stock gearing, just because it might have slightly higher RPM. But guys, stay tuned. We're going to do that in the next couple of videos after we break this in. The Banggood product sales page does say that the suspension is 2nd generation reinforced. I assume that means these are a nylon blend. A lot of the upgraded parts on Bajas these days are actually nylon suspension arms. Now, a lot of people do upgrade these to aluminum. I personally don't see the need. I do not launch these that hard. For me, these do the job. They're lightweight, they're cheap, they're easy to replace, and they're pretty much really reliable for the class of this vehicle here. In terms of the chassis, yes, there's also no surprises here. This is typical Rovan Baja style chassis, pretty much similar to the real HPI. You have a aluminum plate running right over here, and you have plastic covers in the front and rear. A lot of people upgrade the front here to run a extra reinforcing plate, because generally the Bajas do have a tendency to bend here in the front in case you launch it or jump it. These things are fairly heavy, so if you're going to be doing something like that, don't think that just because this is a Rovan you're going to need some kind of extra additional upgrades. These are all basic HPI weaknesses, but I gotta say, the general construction on the Rovan is not any worse than an actual. The electronics on this are pretty much what you expect in a modern Rovan. Honestly, they are more powerful servos than the original HPI. The steering is a 45 kilogram in this one, and the throttle is a 15 kilogram, both metal gear servos. For me, I've run them before. I think they are more than adequate to run anything on this RC. A lot of people upgrade to Savox, but you know what? There's really no need. These things do not really have very thick front tires, and honestly, the 45 kilogram does a very good job steering. So for me, I think this is going to be good stock as is. With the front wheel removed, we could check out the aluminum hub and check out the beefiness of these suspension parts. Now, I wasn't kidding. Honestly, when I first got my first fit scale, I was amazed at just how beefy all the suspension parts here are. And this is actually way larger than the 8 scale trucks that I've ran. And the bearing on the front here is really, really smooth. Look at that. Not bad at all, right? Spins easy. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me just give you a small outro to this RC. Am I happy with this? Yes. Honestly, it is really well packed. It has the features that I care most about. The tires, the pipe, the 29cc, and the reliability of Rovan. But what matters most is price. Now, I started out with a Rovan 30cc as my first fit scale. I, in fact, thought that, hey, they're a little bit too expensive for me to get into. Let me just keep buying electrics. But when you really do an actual comparison on what one of these costs compared to, like a $500 to $600 electric brushless, I mean, you cannot go wrong. For the low 400s or even less than that, you can get yourself a pretty much HPI clone. This is a design of a $1,200 RC, but it's been updated with all the best parts that are actually sold today as aftermarket upgrades. For instance, the Dominator style pipe here in the back. This is a great RC to get into, to learn on. I personally love the Rovan brand. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. A lot of people put them down, but really, as I said in the beginning of this video, it all comes down to basically marketing and the concept of consumer expectations. There's pretty much a point where a product, no matter how cheap they are, people will just not really accept it. When you sell something for double what it costs, well, all of a sudden you might think that it's great. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not. You're never gonna really be let down. And Rovan, honestly, is at the top of their game right now. So thanks so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and get yourself one of these. Write in my comments, and one day we're all gonna show up at an RC Cars and Coffee event. I know one of my YouTube viewers has been suggesting that, and yes, fantastic idea. Till next time.